Hello, this is Ben Branam with Sparks Firearms. I'm in our back work area here. I got a customer's gun in. The gun is the over travel safety, or it's an over travel screw is really what it is. I put in a new trigger on this gun. It's an LC380. Great little guns, great size, great everything, except for the trigger seems to be a little heavy, a little awkward, a little long on the travel. So I put the new trigger system in. It comes with a bar, all this cool parts. But the one thing I want to talk about today is it comes with an over travel set screw, which is this little screw right there. I backed it all the way out so you could see it, and if I cock this gun, I've got it so far that the gun won't discharge. And that's the big problem with these screws, is if the gun doesn't discharge, what are we going to do, right? So what you need to do is to adjust that so the gun discharges, and just barely. Really, I don't want the trigger to move any more than when it fires, and then everything else. So what I'm going to do is put a little Loctite on there. We're going to back that screw out, or actually, yeah, back it out until it goes further inside the trigger there, until the gun will actually fire. And of course I don't have any ammo, so it's just going to go click. But once the gun clicks, I'm going to go a little bit farther. I like about a half a turn, and then I'm going to leave it right there. This one is metal on metal. The screw is real loose. Got to have some Loctite. And generally what happens with Loctite is it spills everywhere, right? I kind of just leave it until I'm done, and then I'll wipe it up. So there's the screw. There's my little itty bitty. And I know I've screwed this one way in so it would expose the threads so I could get the Loctite in it. If they really made these things to do this, there'd be a hole there to put my wrench through so I could actually adjust this thing. But you know, this wasn't the original design of the pistol, so it's kind of a pain in the rump. And it's such a little screw that you can't do much with it. So, and I'm cheating on this video because I knew about how far I unscrewed it, because I set it yesterday just to make sure it would work, see how that trigger would work. This trigger is by RTK. The guy had a real good video online on how to change it, because these things are not a Glock trigger to put in. They were actually a lot of work, but I mean, this is probably worth it for this trigger. It dropped the weight by about 1.5 pounds, but what it really did was it changed the timing on the gun. And what I mean the timing on the gun is at what point in the trigger stroke does the gun actually fire. And this one changed a lot. So let's see if that works. No click yet. If you look in there, there's an other screw. You can just barely see it sticking out on the front of the trigger guard. That's a reset for the same thing. And what I did is I let that one go too far, and now the trigger's not resetting because I backed it out the same thing to do it. So without the trigger resetting, the trigger's never going to fire. So I got to screw that one back in a little ways. I'm just going to screw it in a long ways so I can get the trigger to reset and to see if this thing will go click. Still not doing it, so, but I can feel it's actually reset itself now. So another half turn. And yes, this is why gunsmithing gets boring and tedious, because I'm trying to set up somebody's gun here, and this is going to be this guy's carry gun, so I want to make sure I absolutely do it right. So you can hear it click, and for me, like I said, it's going to be his carry gun, so I'm going to confirm that a couple times. Yep, there we go. And now I'm going to go a quarter turn more. That gives him a little bit of over travel on the trigger. Not much. I don't even feel it when I do it like that with my left finger, but I want to make sure this gun fires no matter what, right? This is his carry gun. It's gotta work every single time no matter what. So now I'm going to play with that trigger reset screw. And what that is when you click, these guns, being the double action, they have a false reset so you can hear it. And then I want the second click. That second click, that's as far as I want that thing to come out. But you can see it goes a little bit farther. So then I'm going to press the trigger again, and I'm going to back this screw out about one turn right now, I think. Reset it. Click. Click. Still a little too much. Click. Click. Ooh, almost right there. So I'm going to do the same thing with this screw. I'm just going to keep backing it out until it really doesn't reset, and then put it in just a little bit. So there's no reset. So I was actually right on. So all I'm going to do is turn it half a turn. And now I should get my reset. There's my reset. Make sure that all works. Seems to be working real good. There's almost zero over travel. That's really nice. And then the click, there's a little bit more. I think I could do a little bit better. So since I'm a perfectionist, I'm going to back this out at a quarter turn. See if I can get a reset still. Yeah, there we go. Haha. So I'm going to leave this guy's pistol set up just like that. All I'm going to do now is clean up the blue Loctite on there. But you can see where the screws are. There's your over travel screw. And then when I press the trigger, you can see that screw just in there. There's your reset screw. That gives you a nice everything, gets the gun well set up. This gun, now, the original design, you had to pull the trigger all the way back till it touched the frame. And so the gun would discharge. And then it would go all the way forward, almost like till your finger touched the front of the trigger guard. Well, now you can see that the gun is only, the trigger is only moving half as much. And to discharge the gun, that's all you need. And this actually, I put some oil in there. I didn't really do a huge trigger job on it. Just put some oil in there, slicked it all up, cleaned it up. And now this trigger is about double as good. So I don't know what he paid for the trigger, but it's a cheap install here at Sparks Firearms. Hope you guys learned something. Go check out sparksfirearms.com.